Welcome to Class Summit. So for us to draft this beautiful skirt, we're going to start with the front and my paper is folded into two because it's an asymmetric. So from the top of the paper, I'm marking the hip line and the knee line, then the length of the skirt. Okay, now at the hip line, I'm going to match it up to align properly. Then I'm going to take the horizontal measurement of the waistline divide by 4. This is just the paper, so my measurement is not for any particular person. So measurement of hip divide by 4 minus 1.5 inch to get the knee line. Minus 1.5 inch from whatever you marked at your hip line to get the knee line. Now at the base of the skirt, I'm going to mark the same thing I marked at the knee line, but then I'm using a straight line instead of a curvy line. Straight line because we're going to match it up together, and this will also affect the knee to the base of the knee because they might not align properly with the back, so I have to make it straight. Okay, so I'm connecting from the hip line down to the base of the skirt on a straight line because I'll need to open it up and match it together with the back. Now come down by 0.5 inch for the skirt waist, okay, and connect it this way. So I'm just going to cut it out and then we'll use it to cut on the back side of the skirt. Okay, this skirt is not going to have a side seam and that's why we're going to match it up. So this is the CF, the center front. I will use this to cut on the back, folded into two also, and then we're going to mark out the zipper area. Okay, so I'll mark either 1 inch or 0.75 or zero point 0.5 depending on what you want to mark, and then I'll use it to trace out the back. Also note that this pattern is not going to have a dart, okay, not going to have a dart intake, so everything is just the actual measurement, the way it is, the actual measurement, because it's a cowl design, but we're going to be doing it with slash and spread. So I'll connect the waistline. I just raised it up by 0.25, okay, and then I'll cut out the excess. At this point, I know this is quite simple to understand, and of course it's gonna be as simple as it is down to the end. Okay, so all I need you to do is to visit the subscription button and subscribe, and then come back to watch this video down to the end to get the best part of it. So this is the zipper line, right? Now what I'm going to do is to open up the back side and the front side, then I will match side by side with the back, and the zipper area will be at the center back, as you can see. Okay, because the hip line and the waistline are not together, that's why we're going to have that opening at the top, but then we're going to slash it into the sides so that everything forms the cowl as well. So I'm using my sellotape to put it together, as you can see, side by side. Now with this opening, we're going to transfer it to the back. While we're doing the slash and spread, it's going to match up into the cowl design that we want. So you slash it this way and transfer it to the hip area, and of course at the hip area we're going to be having much cows. The same thing I did to this other side, that is what I'm going to be doing on this side as well. Okay, you can see the way I've closed it and then it transferred to the back hip line. Now this is what we have. At the center front, we're going to move sides by our nipple measurements. Bust span divided by 2, we'll use it to move to have a straight line there. This is where the side, the seam at the of the skirt is going to be. Okay, the opening or the slit is going to be around this part, so you trace how much slit you want and then have a curve at the lower part of it. This is quite explanatory. And then we're going to grab the curve and use it to slant the sides this way. Okay, so everything that is happening in this paper is just what you're going to be drafting on your own paper. And of course, you may not be cutting this directly on your fabric. If you're cutting directly on the fabric, there's a different method, which is the normal drape that you're going to drape on it. Okay, so this is slash and spread method that we are using. Now we're going to slash the sides. We're going to slash the sides. We've cut it open. We're going to use a pencil and ruler to mark out the slash lines and then make room for the excess, which is going to um, form the cow. Okay, now the opening we have at the back is going to be closed in order to have more excess in the front than at the back. So I'll do the same thing on the other side after doing on this one. So this is what I'm going to do. I'll cut it, but I'm not going to cut it all through. Okay, so I'll cut each of the lines. I need you to carefully watch this. As long as you understand what is happening, you can be able to do anything relating to this type of cow design using slash and spread method. You can see that it's transferred to the front part. Okay, so just going to slash. Now you can decide to do everything equal, the same measurements that you used to slash the first line, that is the same thing you used to slash down to the last line. You can decide to count it, make it be equal. Okay, and that is going to give you a more even measurement. All right, but whereby you want the cow not to be aligned, you need it to be scattered, you can just do it the way you want, so long as the principle is there. So I'll place it on my fabric on the right side of the fabric. Always remember that, on the right side of the fabric. And then I'm going to be adding my seam allowance. Apart from the zipper area that we've already added the zipper allowance, on all other side we're going to be adding our seam allowance of 1 inch or 0.75. Half an inch might be small because you may need to weave this and then use hemming gum to hold it down in case your fabric does not need lining. Okay, so I'll cut it just the way I'm cutting, and I need you to do the same. Please subscribe to this channel if you've not already done so. Right now, following the slashes I have, I'm going to be marking it out so that when I remove the paper, I know which parts to pleat according to the number of slashes that I have. Okay, I'm going to match it up with the next one, match it up with the next one, depending on how you want the pleat to go. I like to teach principles so that you can do it on any other thing that you decide to do. Okay, so understand the format behind it, or the principle behind it, so that it will be easier for you to do it next time on whatever design that you see. So this is it after marking out the lines, and then I'm going to remove the paper, knowing that I've done everything I need to do is just to pleat it. I've already marked out which parts to pleat, and here I'm identifying the lower parts from the upper part of the skirt. Okay, so from wherever you want the pleat to be, which is where you've done your slash, if you do not want the slash to extend to the lower part, then there's no need slashing the lower part of your pattern. Just slash where you want the added fullness to be. Anywhere you want the fullness to be, that's where you're going to slash and add more volume. If you don't want it any other place, don't slash the paper on that place. Okay, so this is what we have. I'll join them together. I'll sew it separately first, top stitch it separately first, then come back and put the two of them together. knowing that we have an opening around the knee area. You can see what we have. Isn't it beautiful? So beautiful, right? So you can now use your hand, arrange the fold the way you want it to be. And of course, it has already been arranged as we were trying to put the pleats together with the other side of it. Now remember that I did not use the measurement of this mannequin for the design I just did. So the measurement is not matching up with the small mannequin. The fabric is quite smaller than it. So it did not even get to the back. So this is what we have, guys. Have you subscribed to this channel? Thank you for watching to this extent, and I believe you got value for your time as always. Okay, so in our next video we're going to see other things that we need to do, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Remember that we have opening at the lower part, and make sure you don't stitch it all together. So this is where we have the zipper line, and you can see the allowance for the zipper line is just there. So the volume is needed at the front, and it is quite at the front. Okay, so this is it. Isn't it beautiful? So beautiful. Thank you for watching, guys. See you in my next video. Bye.